BRICS' exact step-by-step plan for de-dollarization revealed. The BRICS nations are about to drop a bomb on the global economy. A secret plan, years in the making, is about to be revealed, and it could spell disaster for the US dollar.
For all of our lives, the dollar has been the king of currencies around the world. But is that about to change?
According to data from the IMF, the dollar's dominance as the world's reserve currency has been eroding.
China and Russia have already de-dollarized more than 90% of their bilateral trade.
And this all happens as the de-dollarization trend continues, with the BRICS Plus ministers of foreign affairs recently meeting in Russia. Members reiterated calls to ditch the dollar and use their own currencies in trade.
BRICS is also eyeing a single currency, looking to uproot the dominance of the US dollar.
The end of the US dollar is happening much faster than anyone thought possible.
The dollar would collapse, the stock market would collapse, the bond market would collapse, banking system would collapse, the insurance companies would collapse, everything. This is the Great Reset.
The BRICS Plus nations, now expanded to include Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Iran, and Ethiopia, are on a bold mission to challenge the US dollar's dominance. Their plan: de-dollarization, a strategy to reduce their reliance on the dollar in international trade and finance. Is this the end of American dominance? Will the world break free from the dollar's grip? And what does it mean for your money? We're about to crack open this BRICS plan and see exactly how they plan to de-dollarize the world. This is going to be bigger than Bitcoin. Okay, let's dive right into the first step of the BRICS grand de-dollarization plan. Imagine the US dollar as the king of the global currency castle. Everyone bows down to its power, right? Well, the BRICS nations are like a group of rebellious knights, tired of the old guard. Their weapon? A brand new currency, just for them. They are setting the stage for a dramatic shift by proposing a currency backed by gold and even rare earth minerals. Basically, they're building a currency with a strong foundation, a financial skyscraper with a solid base. But why gold? For centuries, gold has been a symbol of stability and value. Unlike fiat currencies, which can be printed at will, gold is finite and holds intrinsic value. By pegging their new currency to gold, BRICS aims to provide a stable alternative to the US dollar. The fixed value of gold contrasts sharply with the floating value of the dollar since the US left the gold standard in 1971. Consider the implications. If the dollar's value drops against gold, the BRICS currency's value increases. This could make US goods cheaper for BRICS countries, but also enhance the attractiveness of their currency in international trade. It's a double-edged sword, but one that BRICS members, especially China and Russia, are keen to wield. They see this as a way to not only increase their wealth, but also to erode confidence in the dollar. Now, why exactly would they go through all this trouble? Well, the benefits sound pretty sweet. Imagine being able to send money between BRICS countries as easily as sending a text message. No more crazy fees, no more waiting days, just smooth sailing transactions thanks to fancy blockchain technology and digital currencies. Think of it like this. Right now, sending money across borders can feel like wading through molasses, slow and sticky. The BRICS currency wants to be the high-speed train of international payments, zipping funds around with ease. Plus, a BRICS currency could be a game-changer for trade within the bloc itself. Imagine these countries being able to trade with each other without having to convert their currencies all the time. It'd be like tearing down the financial walls between them, opening up a whole new world of economic cooperation. Let's talk about BRICS expanding its membership, a crucial part of their de-dollarization strategy. Did you know that BRICS recently expanded to include Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, Iran, and Ethiopia? This expansion increases BRICS' collective population to about 3.5 billion people, and their combined GDP to over $28.5 trillion, accounting for roughly 28% of the global economy. This isn't just a club of nations anymore. It's a massive economic bloc. Think about it. How would the inclusion of these new members, particularly oil giants like Saudi Arabia, impact global energy markets? BRICS countries now produce around 42% of the world's crude oil, which could give them unprecedented influence over global oil prices and energy policies. But it doesn't stop there. Over 40 other nations have expressed interest in joining BRICS.
Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Iran, and Ethiopia are all recent additions. And Cameroon, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Syria, Thailand, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe are knocking at the door.
Can you imagine a world where BRICS has members from every continent? This is a strategic move to challenge the dominance of Western-led financial institutions and the US dollar. But here's a question. Can these diverse countries with their own geopolitical agendas really work together effectively? For instance, Saudi Arabia and Iran have been rivals for decades, especially in the Persian Gulf. Their cooperation within BRICS could be a game changer, or it could lead to more internal conflicts. Now on to the most revolutionary part of BRICS' de-dollarization plan, developing their own payment system. Why is this so important? Currently, most international transactions are processed through the SWIFT system, which is dominated by the US dollar. This gives the US significant leverage in global financial matters. But what if there was an alternative? Enter the BRICS payment system. BRICS is planning to launch a blockchain-based payment platform known as the BRICS Bridge. This system aims to connect the financial systems of member countries using digital currencies and blockchain technology. Imagine a global financial highway that bypasses the US dollar and SWIFT altogether. This isn't just a pipe dream, it's already in development. In fact, Russian President Vladimir Putin confirmed this at the 27th Annual St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, emphasizing that this system would be unmoved by political pressure, abuse, and external sanctions. This could provide a huge boost to economic sovereignty for BRICS nations, reducing their vulnerability to US-led financial sanctions. So, what exactly does it mean when BRICS talks about increasing trade in local currencies? Let's break it down. Imagine you're running a small business and you have to keep converting your money into different currencies just to buy materials. Sounds cumbersome, right? That's exactly what many countries feel with the US dollar dominating international trade. Did you know that around 20% of global oil payments among BRICS countries are now settled in local currencies instead of the US dollar? That's a massive shift from the past. This trend isn't just about convenience. It's a strategic move to reduce dependency on the US dollar, which is heavily influenced by US economic policies and sanctions. China has been a front-runner in this initiative. Through extensive bilateral currency swap agreements, China's RMB is now used to settle about half of its cross-border trade and investment transactions. India, too, has been making strides. Recently, India and the UAE agreed to settle their trade in Indian rupees, and India has allowed banks from 22 countries to open special Vostro Rupee accounts for transactions with Indian entities.
The Moscow Exchange announced that it would no longer use the US dollar and euro for foreign exchange and precious metals trading. According to Chinese strategist Professor Wang Xiangsui, this move is a forceful response to the weaponization of the dollar initiated by the US and the EU.
But why is this shift happening now? Well, with geopolitical tensions and economic sanctions, countries are looking for ways to avoid being caught in the crossfire. By trading in their local currencies, BRICS nations are not just promoting financial sovereignty, but also buffering themselves against the volatility of the US dollar. Think of it as diversifying your investment portfolio. Just as you wouldn't want all your investments tied to the fortunes of a single stock, these countries don't want their economic stability tied solely to the US dollar. It's about spreading risk and gaining more control over their economic destinies. Isn't that a smart move? Did you know that BRICS nations are in a gold-buying frenzy? It's true. These countries are not just dabbling in gold, they are stockpiling it at an unprecedented rate. But why? What's the big deal with gold? Let's dive into the gold rush that's sweeping across BRICS nations and its implications. Imagine a treasure chest filled with gold coins. This is what the BRICS central banks are aiming for. China, for instance, has been on a gold acquisition spree for 17 months straight. By the end of 2023, China had added a whopping 225 tons of gold to its reserves, spending over $532 million just in December 2023 alone. And it's not just China. Russia, India, and South Africa are also heavily investing in gold, pushing global gold prices to new heights. Why gold, you ask? Gold is a timeless store of value. It's immune to the whims of inflation and economic instability.
But this is something where if the abandonment of the dollar takes off, for 80 years now, we have flooded the world with US dollars. They've kept hold of them. That's been fantastic because they give them useful things. They give us toasters and cars and copper mines for those dollars. Now, the problem is if we throw that away, all of those dollars come flooding back into America. That means we have way too many dollars. We have a word for that, which is inflation. So we could see enormous inflation, and that's at a time when our banks are already wobbling.
By amassing gold, BRICS nations are shielding themselves from the fluctuations of the global market, especially the US dollar's volatility. But could this be more than just a safe investment? Some speculate that BRICS might back their new currency with gold, harking back to the days of the gold standard. These summits are the heartbeats of BRICS' mission to shift away from the US dollar and forge a new path in global finance. Russia, holding the BRICS chairmanship in 2024, is at the forefront of this initiative. With over 200 planned events, the BRICS summit will be hosted in Kazan in October 2024. This is more than just a meeting. It's a powerhouse event where world leaders brainstorm, debate, and set the course for the future. Why are these summits so crucial? Well, imagine trying to build a skyscraper without regular check-ins. Impossible, right? These summits are those essential check-ins, where BRICS leaders ensure every part of their grand plan is progressing smoothly. For instance, at the 2023 summit in South Africa, they expanded their membership by inviting 6 new countries. Do you ever wonder why BRICS spends so much effort on these gatherings? These summits are where decisions that shape the global economy are made. At the 2023 BRICS summit in South Africa, for instance, 6 new countries were invited to join, showing the bloke's growing influence. But why stop at economic policies? BRICS summits also address global issues such as climate change, security, and sustainable development. By presenting a united front on these issues, BRICS can wield significant influence on the global stage. Is BRICS positioning itself as the voice of the global South against Western hegemony? And there you have it. A detailed journey through BRICS' strategic plan to de-dollarize the global economy. The question now is, will these steps lead to a seismic shift in global finance? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, BRICS is not just playing the game. They're changing the rules. They're creating a new world order where financial power is more evenly distributed and the dollar's dominance is challenged. So, the next time you hear about BRICS, remember it's not just an economic alliance. It's a powerful force reshaping the future of global finance. So, if you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button. And for the latest updates on geopolitical news, check out this video here.